Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I am your host, Sunny Cadwallader, also known as CadChica on Twitter. Tuesday 10 is a quick 10-minute chat with leaders and up-and-comers in the world of sports, from media and broadcasting, business and marketing, education, and much more. And tonight I am pleased as punch, pleased as whatever you can call it, to have two guests from the NHL, my adopted favorite team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Please welcome in James Royer and Caity Kauffman. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going?
I am good. James, I'm going to start with you because you are the boss of everybody. You're the boss of over both of us, I think, at this point. Why don't you give everybody a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, so I've actually been in the digital world for about 14 years now. I actually started my career with the Detroit Lions and ran all the website and content for them. And then I went to the digital agency world for about 7 years, and I worked with some agencies, and some of my big clients were Jeep. I worked on Jeep.com and Hilton Honors. And this is now finishing up my third season with the Lightning, and it's been a roller coaster, obviously, with everything going on. But we're in the playoffs, and we're excited to be here. Thanks for having us. Thank
you, Caity. Why don't you give everybody a little bit of background?
Yeah, this is my first season with the Lightning. I started my hockey career with our affiliate, the ECHL Florida Everblades. Worked in sports, wanted to be a journalist, have a journalism background, but I've taken that content creation, and now I'm a content marketer with the Lightning, so I'm really excited. It's my dream job.
Before we get started, I just want to make sure everybody sees that they are my adopted team. I have to show I am wearing my no chirping, just tweeting Tampa Bay Lightning hashtag. So I'm not a bandwagon fan. I am an adopted fan. So they are definitely my team, and there's more. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Let's get right into the social digital media aspect that the Tampa Bay Lightning do, because I feel like your team is very creative, very innovative. Tell me a little bit about this social captain that I've been seeing on my timeline throughout the NHL season. How did that come about, James?
Well, really, what we're trying to do is get people talking about Tampa Bay Lightning. And what does that mean exactly when you come to a game experience? And our game experience, I've been in a lot of arenas, and I've been in sports a long time. I was blown away when I first saw it. It's so well done. And to come to a game, it's an experience. And we just want people to share that so that it carried that voice and carried to audiences we didn't necessarily have. And that's where it really started from. And we just kind of built upon that. And obviously, what we do is we bring somebody who is a influencer in social media, is active in social media space. It could be a fan. It could be somebody who's a celebrity, or a celebrity who is a fan. We have a lot of those as well. And we bring them and give them a VIP experience, and we just ask them to share from their social media profiles, and that's where Caity comes in, because she's the one who really manages this on a day-to-day basis.
So, Caity, what kind of interaction have you seen, from fans, or response from fans, and maybe even the local area? Like, could somebody like me actually fly down to Tampa and do something like that?
Yeah, we do a mix of social captains where we do reach out to certain celebrities or local influencers, and then we do have an application process as well where we'll select certain dates. It's kind of average like once a month, where on our website, we invite fans to apply, and so we do it that way. So we try to keep a mix because we love our fans and they're our best advocates, and we also utilize the social captain program to get maybe new fans or people that weren't familiar with our in-game experience. So it's a good mix.
So definitely somebody like me, I could actually apply, and if by some chance I happen to be in the Tampa area, I could become the social captain.
Yeah.
Well, you get to Tampa, we'll make sure you're the social captain.
Yes. You don't have to apply. You can skip it.
Oh, well, this is good. We like that. With the NHL season being so long, and definitely with the Olympics this year, I was kind of curious how much planning goes into implementing a strategy or coming up with the different fan engagement practices that you guys are doing. How much planning goes into that before the season, and now that you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs, go Bolts, how much planning goes into preparing for that as well?
Well, I guess I'll field that question first, and from that perspective, we do try to plan certain things out well in advance. Things like our both Social Central, what we're going to do in that area. We were the first pro sports teams to have that open social media lounge feel to it, and we had to do a lot of planning around that and try how are we going to program that, what kind of giveaways we're going to do, and some of that creativity. But honestly, some of the stuff, it just comes up randomly. And Katie makes fun of me for, I have a phrase that I come up to her with, and I'll let her say what it is. But some of this stuff just happens, and that's what social media is about too. You just kind of react to something, and something happens. You just say, "That was a great idea," or "Hey, we got to play off this. This is perfect fit for the Lightning." We know our brand well enough to know that kind of the parameters we can stay within, and some of those things just kind of pop up, and we can take advantage of them.
Yeah, James's favorite thing to do is our offices are next to each other, and he'll like creep around the corner, and he'll be like, "So I have a crazy idea." I'm like, "All right, here it goes." And that's kind of how most of our conversations begin, is like, I have a crazy idea. And a good example of that is kind of, we had our players shave their heads to benefit pediatric cancer.
I saw that.
After the Ellen selfie had happened at the Oscars, and so, James came to me and he's like, let's find a way to kind of get in this conversation. And so we could have planned in advance how we were going to handle that event and what we were going to do and how we were going to promote it on social, but then Ellen DeGeneres went and could have put that all in flames, and we came up with something new. So I think we plan in advance, but we also keep an eye on what's happening in the social world and see how we can jump into conversation. So it's a healthy mix of both, for sure.
Okay. You say that ideas just pop into your head, and so you kind of just go with it, and this question just popped into my head. So I want to ask it. How do you decide because you're very prolific on Twitter and Instagram, and yes, we will be, Lainey and Heather and Delilah and all of the fans all of our audience are very interested in Bolts Freeze, hashtag Bolts Freeze, which we will be talking about with all of the different platforms. How do you guys decide which ones to really pursue or to actually get on and utilize at a high level? Either one of you can take that question.
James, I'd love for you to explain your post method, because I think it best explains kind of how we approach things.
Yeah, so I draw back onto the book Groundswell, and obviously what they explain is the post method to how they approach it. And post being an acronym for people first, objective second, strategy third, and then the technology. And I think we have a firm understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, or we're struggling with something with, like, how do we pull this off? And that you have to start there. Who are we trying to reach? What are we trying to do? And then how does it fit into our overall strategy? And then we decide the technology. Case in point was we sat in a meeting one day, like, how do we reach out to college students? How do we break this wall? We have 2 campuses real close to our where we're at. Mm-hmm. And how do we break through this wall? And Snapchat was a logical answer for that. Not that we thought that we need to be on Snapchat. It was more of, this Snapchat might work to solve this problem, and so that's where we jumped down there. So I think that was a great case in there. Katie, you can expound upon that if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that pretty much says it. Is, we don't get on platforms because we need to be on this platform, and we make sure that we're on certain platforms to reach a certain audience. So I think it's keeping that in mind and not just doing it, but doing it to reach an audience.
Cool. I do want to bring in this comment. My friend Lainey Sullivan says, Katie, got to say you're brilliant, gorgeous, and love sports. Right on, doll. So you've got a fan there. And then my friend Heather Crafter is in Montana. She loves the idea of being a social captain as well. She's very good, very, very good. I've learned a lot from her here on Google+. So that's been cool. I am going to do a screen share because I want to bring in what everybody is wanting to talk about, and that is the Instagram freeze contest. The Tampa Bay Lightning were the first to do a freezing of their account surrounding a contest leading up into the 2013-14 season. So can you guys see this first one at all?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I don't care which one of you talks about this, but tell me how this whole idea of freezing your Instagram account came about.
Go ahead, Katie.
Yeah. So something that's important to us is merging the digital space with grassroots marketing efforts. And we were just discussing, Instagram was one of the platforms that we really saw was going to have a lot of growth and was something that we really wanted to expand upon. At the beginning of the season, it's actually doubled our numbers since I started. So But we're like, so what can we do with this platform? And, what do we want to do? And what we want to do is we wanted to take over the entire market. That's something that we wanted to do.
Right.
We wanted all of Tampa Bay to know that hockey was back. And so we were like, let's cover it. Let's take it over. And we were talking about, locking the Instagram. We had just come out of a lockout. We kind of want to stay away from that word. And
yeah.
And so we're like, let's freeze it. And then freeze became ice. And it was like we had this 2-hour brainstorm. We were just throwing back ideas. And so what we ended up doing is we froze 3 different kinds of blocks. We froze jerseys in ice. Well, they were picture of a jersey because you can't freeze an actual jersey. We froze t-shirts in ice. We froze tickets in ice. And then as you're looking at on your screen, we had our logo with our Twitter handle in ice. And so we put them all over town. And shout out to our marketing department. Everyone chipped in. It was a really big effort. We went all the way down to Clearwater, all the way up to Wesley Chapel, over to Brandon. And we asked fans, we had those signs that you see there, and we had fans submit photos of themselves with the branded blocks, send them on Instagram, and the response was incredible. Any of our blocks with the prizes, the first fan to find it got the prize. And so we were just blown away by the amount of engagement it got. Fans wanted to know where it went. We were using the geo-target feature on Instagram to give fans clues of where they were. And so it really ended up causing a huge buzz for us and a big splash in the market, and we were really pleased with it. And our fans loved the prizes, so that's always a big plus for us.
And since you guys are taking to the ice tomorrow night, we've got a continuation of that. James?
So we want to do the same thing for playoffs. We know this was very successful, but we want to do it in a more sophisticated manner. And I'll say it that way, in that what we found was a lot of our fans, I should tell you a story from the first one. We announced we were going to be in Wesley Chapel, which is probably about 40 minutes north of Tampa downtown. And so I got out, and I no more than put a block of ice on the ground, and I had 3 people already there to win. Okay. And I felt bad for the other 2 people who were second in line, so it was only one prize. We're going to give more prizes away for location this time around. We're going to do it a little differently, but it's still going to be a lot of fun, and it's chances for more people to win. But what happened was, I got back in my car. The guy who was second in line started following me to see where I was going to go next.
Oh, no. Stalking.
So, and it was, unfortunately for him, I was just going back to the office, but to get an next block of ice. But it was that kind of engagement for the event. Was just a lot of fun. So we're going to do it again, though, and we're going to do it. We're actually going to spread it over 3 different days because we have games tomorrow, we have game Friday, and what a great way to just really engage the Tampa Bay community, to give them multiple opportunities, not only win tickets for game 1, maybe win tickets for game 2 in the series, but also for just having fun with other prizes we're going to give away too.
Well, excellent. We did get some comments on this because I know a lot of people were interested in. And James, if you can go to the Google Events page and add that acronym that you had shared earlier. I know Delilah wants to see that. Claire has a question. Considering it's Florida, how quickly did the ice blocks melt? Obviously, a great question, because I'm sure you got that question a lot last year.
We got super lucky, and it was a really cloudy day. We were like, yes, we've never been so happy for clouds in Florida. I would say they lasted about 2 hours, maybe. It was enough time that fans could get out there and get the blocks, but enough urgency. So it kind of worked out in our favor. We totally got lucky on that one.
And just a quick shout out to Lainey. More entrepreneurs need to capture that thought of not needing to be on every platform all the time. I think she's just clapping and singing your praises right now. So that's awesome to see. We are actually done. Our 10 minutes. I told you guys the 10 minutes just flies by like that. But we do have a contest that we want to share with our audience, and hopefully you can be the first. As you can see on my lower third, my Twitter handle is @CadChica. We do have a couple. Is it 1 or 2 shirts, James? I can't remember now.
We'll do 2.
The first 2 people. Oh, and let me show these shirts. Just in time for Stanley Cup playoffs. Quest for the Cup begins. The first 2 people to tweet me, not James, not Caity, not the Tampa Bay Lightning, tweet to me @CadChica with the hashtag go Bolts, GOBOLTS. The first 2 people tweet me, Go Bolts hashtag, will win 2 shirts, and I'll make sure to connect you with James and Caity to make sure that you get that. So thank you guys for giving. That's my first giveaway on my show. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty psyched about that. Thank you both again for joining me on the show. I respect everything that you guys have done so far in social and digital. I do learn from you guys. And I know that I can ask you guys questions anytime, and as your schedule permits, you'll answer them. So thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having us.
Before we go, why don't you let everyone know where they can connect with you, either through Tampa Bay, or the Tampa Bay Lightning accounts, or your own accounts.
Yep, Twitter handle right below.
Caity Kauffman, Caity Kauffman, and James?
Well, I'll send you to @TB Lightning. That's more interesting than @James Royers.
That's okay. The Lightning.
There's more prizes on TB Lightning too. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Spoken like a smart man, smart salesman, smart marketing man. So thank you both again for joining me. Tune in next week for another edition of Tuesday 10 with CadChica Sports. I will be interviewing Max Goldstein. He is from Google. He works with sports partnerships in the sports partnerships area, and we will definitely be talking about Google Plus Hangouts. And I think we already have 2 winners in the giveaway. I will be checking on Twitter here shortly. Thank you very much, everyone. And before I go, quick shout out to T Johnny 09, Tyler Johnson, Spokane Zone. Go Tyler, go Bolts. Thanks, everyone.